Hello, War of Word users. I'm Govinda Dasu, and I'm going to be interviewing English expert Mr. Jason Barry on Resolved. The Harry Potter series promotes witchcraft among children. So first of all, A or nay, Mr. Barry? Does the Harry Potter series promote witchcraft among children?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not?
No.
Really?
Sure, there might be some case where some child thinks that he can make something levitate or pick up some sort of stick made out of oak. And,
I knew people who did think that. Quite a few. And I personally did think that as well when I was young.
Well, then that probably explains a lot of, about you.
Okay. But go on. What makes you think that this book that has been put in the Pope's list of forbidden books, this book that has been put in the Pope's list of forbidden books, not promote witchcraft?
Let's look at the empirical evidence.
Okay.
How many little wizards do you know?
None.
None. Okay. How many? What was that little hippogriff? What was
Hippogriffs?
What was the flying little beast that Harry Potter?
A hippogriff.
How many hippogriffs have you seen?
A few.
A few.
Right.
You have one.
Yes.
You do not have one.
Okay, but I have one in my imagination.
Well, yeah, now we're talking about two different things. Becoming a witch or a wizard through one's imagination and becoming a real witch or a real wizard.
Right, but the point we're talking about is people who believe that their imagination is reality. And that's what Harry Potter does, doesn't it? It makes our imagination our reality.
No, it does not. No, it does not. The scenes exist through one's imagination. For example, if I read, say, American Psycho, am I going to become a psychotic megalomaniac killer? No, I'm not. If I read The Great Gatsby, am I suddenly going to become enamored with some girlfriend that I had 20 years ago and become or try to recreate the past? If I read Huck Finn, am I going to make a raft and set adrift on the Mississippi River? No.
But there is a reason why the Pope put this on the list of forbidden books.
Right, because the Pope represents or becomes a manifestation of the religion that he embodies.
You know what? The Harry Potter series goes against the Christian church, and it goes against science as well. Okay, so it's telling for the two institutions we have. The institution of science, where people base their things...
Science is an institution.
It is.
Oh, okay.
Do you think so?
I think it's a body of work or some other representation, but an institution? Like, really, an institution.
Do you think Harry Potter is an institution?
Harry Potter is a series of books, but I don't think it necessarily becomes an institution.
But you think the Catholic Church is an institution?
Well, the Catholic Church is a religion, but now we're getting off topic.
No, we're not off topic.
Oh, okay. How are we not off topic?
Because the Catholic Church is what has prohibited Harry Potter.
Okay.
Because it promotes witchcraft among children, or at least the belief that witchcraft exists.
Okay, so you're asking what?
What I'm asking you is, what makes you think it doesn't promote witchcraft?
One, I haven't been duly...
Promoting witchcraft doesn't necessarily mean that people are becoming witches and wizards. What it means is, that it's promoting this ideal.
What element of witchcraft exists in Harry Potter? And then maybe we can go ask some questions.
Women on broomsticks, men on broomsticks, flying.
Okay.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Yes.
Etc. Spells. Spells that can kill people. Spells that can do powerful things.
Okay, well, are there not two different types of spells in the Harry Potter series? One type of spell that promotes good, another type of spell that promotes something evil.
Correct.
Okay. So that, all right, that's an interesting point. Let's go back to a certain individual named Mirandola. Mirandola, as you well should know, suggests in his oration on the dignity of man that man can do good and ascends, or man does evil and or that man may degenerate. On that basis, on that principle alone, I will concede that perhaps one could argue that Harry Potter I don't know if we can say
promotes witchcraft.
I wouldn't necessarily say that it promotes witchcraft, but that
Then what is it doing but promoting? What would you call it then? If it's not promoting witchcraft, what is it doing? It's suggesting that witchcraft...
No. It would suggest that the child's imagination or the reader's imagination can take that reader or group of readers to some sort of place in which the self becomes divorced in and of itself and engages in some sort of rich imaginary playfulness.
And don't we need to put a law to stop that?
No.
These are young children.
Good, more power to them.
And parents want their children to be good Christians. And Harry Potter is stopping it.
Not every single
But many parents do. Many Christian parents want their kids to be good Christians, and Harry Potter is stopping that.
You have introduced so many different arguments into this little tete-a-tete that I know not where to go.
Personally, my father wants me to be a good scientist, and he wants me not to read Harry Potter because he thinks that Harry Potter will allow me to believe in things that don't have empirical evidence for existing.
That's great. However, let us all turn to literature and all try to make humanists out of everybody.
Right, but there's a difference between literature, which is read by academics and institutions when they're above 21 getting their doctorate degree, and when 7-year-olds are reading Harry Potter and thinking they can be wizards.
I appreciate the enthusiasm of your rhetoric. However, there are some logical fallacies through which we may
Name one.
Okay, name one. Go back to what you just said. Repeat whatever you...
I said that Harry Potter is hitting the root, the children.
The root? Oh, now we're talking about our third...
And that's why we need to institute censorship, right? Okay.
Wrong, my friend.
Okay, so give me your one example of my logical fallacy. You said that I'm committing a logical fallacy, but you haven't told me why.
Okay. Replay the tape.
I just replayed it. I'm not going to replay it again.
You did not replay it.
Just tell me what my logical fallacy is.
You said that something about all graduate students above or beyond the age of 21 read literature that is perhaps beyond their comprehension, and thus children who read Harry Potter are consuming the text at such a young age that they know not what it is that they consume.
Right.
Wrong.
And what is the logical fallacy in that? You haven't told me.
That presupposes that at a certain age, one will begin to understand what it is that he or she reads.
Right.
Thus, something that is read at or below one's age or above one's age, then he or she has not the comprehension to understand it.
Correct.
So if I say read Dr. Seuss at the ripe old age of 35, that is below my comprehension or below my understanding.
You can understand what's below your comprehension level. That's fine. I'm talking about above.
So therefore, because I don't have, say, a BS in, shall we say, entomology, that I should not read about bugs.
No, that's BS. Because what you've done there is you've said that you need to have a degree. I never said that. All I'm saying is that you should be mature enough.
Who is to say who or what is mature?
The government. 18.
Wrong.
18.
18. So at age 18, one should be allowed to pick up J.K. Rowling's
Right.
Harry
That's
Potter.
the argument of the pro on this resolution. Not going to say
absurd.
whether it's mine, but...
That's absurd.
Wait, but you haven't pointed out the logical fallacy yet.
Are you kidding me?
I am not.
You have... Toby!
The logical fallacy. You just keep laughing at me, ha ha ha, but you haven't told me the logical fallacy.
I just did.
What?
You...
Again with the laughter.
No, again with your theatrics. Perhaps you should go to Juilliard instead of those other schools that you want to which you want to apply.
Okay, we're on camera still, so.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah. But anyways, what's the logical fallacy?
You have, you have said that above or below a certain age, one should not be able to read a certain text. That's wrong. That's a fallacy. One should be able to read whatever one chooses to read.
So you think that a 3-year-old should be able to read Siddhartha?
I encourage that 3-year-old to read Siddhartha, especially if it's in a graphic novel form and he's sitting with his back up against a fig tree.
Okay, well thank you. And thank you for this interview. And
you're welcome. Pleasure's all
I'm glad
mine.
you put your opinion out there.
Thank you.